Hey y'all, what is up? It's another week of Off Track with Chandler Hayden, and this week I'm bringing you someone from the University of Tennessee again, and we're diving into a new sport. We've done track. It's off track. I mean, we're gonna do track, but this week we're diving into football, and we're gonna talk with one of my good friends, Jack Luttrell. Jack Luttrell. That's right, Jack. Correct?
Yep.
Yes. A lot of people have a hard time pronouncing your last name, correct? Don't they?
Oh yeah, it's like everybody I meet says my last name wrong.
What do they say? Luttrell?
Yeah, a lot of people say Luttrell, but it's Luttrell. So it's not too.
That's what I thought it was at first too. I thought it was Luttrell. And then I actually met you and it was Luttrell. So I was shocked, you know?
Yeah,
And
a lot of people just read it Luttrell, and I don't know why, but
fun fact though, before we even get into any questions or just topics, I was driving today and I saw a Luttrell eyewear in Knoxville. So that's like a good NIL thing you could get into.
to get some glasses.
Yes, I'm saying you could get some glasses.
I think there's actually like a town in Tennessee called Luttrell.
Really?
Yeah, the academic lady at Thornton was telling me about it.
Interesting. I'll have to look that up on the map for sure. But speaking of when I first met you, we met through social media, as I do a lot of people. But I think we met through TikTok at first, and we had just followed each other because you were coming to Tennessee and I was already at Tennessee. And I was like, another guy who does TikTok. How cool, how fun, you know? But now that you're actually at Tennessee with the TikTok following that you have, do you get any kind of shit for it in the locker room? Or how have you like kind of handled that being a guy who actually like is into social media and does social media?
I think like getting made fun of and getting everybody like mad at you for focusing on stuff other than football was the biggest thing, because guys thought like because you do a TikTok you're taking time away from doing football. But I mean, once people really like once in the college locker room, it's easy because everybody understands that you're only making TikToks to make money. But like in high school, it was more, you would get shit like if you are making a TikTok in a high school locker room. But college, it's easy. Everybody is doing them. It's just only some of us have a big following.
Really? That's interesting, honestly, because TikTok wasn't necessarily a thing when I was in high school. That makes me feel really actually old. So, you know, but TikTok wasn't really a thing when I was in high school, and I didn't use it my freshman year. So coming into college, I didn't expect that. I didn't know that. But I guess that is kind of true because a lot of y'all do make TikToks on the locker room and just like, you know.
I think I think it's a good way for us to. It's not like team building, but it kind of is. Like when you have to learn a dance to a sound, or like have an idea and video it and do it the right way, and you're just doing that with your teammates or people who are you're around. It's a good relationship builder.
Yeah, for sure. But how did it start? Like, do you remember your first viral video, or do you remember where you kind of just started, um, and how you kind of got to where you are now?
Yeah, I remember. I got TikTok when TikTok first started, and like I made videos, and I think the most I ever had was 200 followers. And then COVID came, and then I started kind of picking more up with football, like getting better at football and stuff, watching more football on YouTube. And that's when I figured out who Destroying was. So my TikTok career kind of blew up as my football career did, because I went to a football event that Destroying had put on, and there was a lot of cameras, a lot of people filming it. And all I did was take the videos from that camp and put it on TikTok, and all those videos just blew up. I remember I hit 10K within a day after posting those videos, and I was like, okay, like this is easy. I kind of think I could do this for a while.
Well, what advice would you have for someone who's like getting started? Like you said, you had kind of gone to a camp and were able to get the content from the camp, but if you had to give advice to a high schooler, even someone on your team, or just someone in sports, even someone who's not in sports who wants to get started in TikTok? Like, what would you say?
I think the biggest thing with TikTok is just having like a variety of different types of content you can provide for whoever follows you, because a lot of people are looking for different stuff, and if they follow one person and get one thing, like, you won't build your page and build your brand if you can offer multiple things. Like, football is a big thing for me, but I try to like relate it to other stuff. Like, I would try to bring comedy into it sometimes, and then I try to relate it to fashion and all that. So if you can like just go in, not like go in making your TikTok and just being ready to make whatever type of videos you think wouldn't make you viral. And that's kind of what I did, and that's what worked for me.
Mm-hmm. But you played high school football in Georgia, and high school football in Georgia was pretty big, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But how does the transition, I'm sure you get asked this all the time, but how was the transition from playing in Georgia in high school at kind of like a big level high school playing field, transferring up into a Division I school? What's the biggest jump that like you've had as a football player?
I think the biggest jump I had, like, it wasn't on the field, it wasn't necessarily off the field, it was just when you're watching film, that has changed so much from high school to college. Just like the note taking while watching film, or like how much film you're watching, what angle of the film you're watching it from, like that changes so much from high school to college. And I think that's one of the biggest thing that sticks out when I think about the transition. But I think another one is just the food. You get a lot of food in college, and the University of Tennessee, like, I'm sure Chandler, you can speak on this, like, the University of Tennessee feeds their athletes very well.
Yeah, the stuff I get at Tennessee is actually insane. Like, we have a place called Smokies, and you would think it'd be like straight up healthy food, but I've seen a lot of people gain like 30 pounds easily just from going to Smokies. You have everything you could want. You can make your own food. It's crazy. And that's how it is at a lot of Division I schools. So if you want to be fed, come to University of Tennessee. Tennessee, come down to Smokies, But speaking of workouts, like, you had a TikTok recently and you were talking about next person to ask me for a pair of gloves has to go through a workout. What's your hardest workout that you've done? Like, I see y'all work out every day. I see it. Looks like y'all do a lot of standing around, but Okay, no, I'm kidding.
Not standing around.
I'm kidding. It's a joke. But what is the hardest workout that you think you've done so far?
Okay, so I think the workouts in college have been difficult, and like, everybody loves to say, oh, when you get to college, like, be ready because the workouts are going to be really hard. But like we were talking about, I went to a high level program in Georgia for high school. So like, our workouts in high school, like, those summer workouts were harder than the college workouts I've done so far. And now I'm not speaking on like spring practice. We might get some more hard workouts in. So I don't want to jinx it or anything, but I think my high school summer workouts were harder just because the weather, it's so hot down in South Georgia, and then rolling around, like, that punishment or drill when you just have to lay on the field and roll is awful.
And for everyone who doesn't know, Jack is a mid-year transfer, so he literally just graduated high school in like December. He hasn't gone through fall training, and he hasn't gone through, what is it? Yeah, spring training.
Spring training.
Yeah. So, I mean, you might be eating your words here in a month or so. You might be hurting walking over to Stokely. Shoot. But since you're a wide receiver, that's a lot of pressure, I feel like there's a lot of big pressure positions in football. Obviously, I don't play football. I pay somewhat attention to it. But, like Jalen this year, he got a lot of attention. Do you feel a lot of pressure being a wide receiver? Or yeah. That's what.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure being a wide receiver. And I mean, the pressure of coming out of high school and being able to play receiver and DB is one of the biggest things. Just because you have to be able to say, I'm big enough to go play defense in college football, but I'm also fast enough and smart enough to play offense. And I mean, right now, Tennessee has me at strong safety. So right now I'm trying to get bigger, trying to gain muscle mass, trying to be more explosive. And for spring practice, I'll be going at strong safety. And then when I come back after that, we'll see. Wherever I'm needed at Tennessee, I'm ready to play there. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. Well, enough about football. You know, I can only talk about football for so long. I start losing break. I start pay attention. You know, I don't know too much about football, but I met you on your official visit. How do you think? Like, what's your favorite part of Knoxville outside of training, outside of sports? Like, what do you like to do besides, like, don't say sleep. Everyone says, I like to sleep. I like to rest. Like, what do you do? Like, I don't know. It's been so long since I've been your age.
There's really good, like, we as an athlete, we have certain places we can go grab some food if we needed to. And we always go to Tropical Smoothie. So I don't know if there's like NIL deals or anything that they have set up. If they do, hit me up. But we love just like all the guys after a workout or right before class, running the Tropical Smoothie, getting a smoothie and chilling, going back, getting on the game or whatever it is. But I think Tropical Smoothie has been the biggest thing that, besides football and fans and posting on TikTok, Tropical Smoothie is where we're all at.
Tropical Smoothie is now an activity in Knoxville. They're putting it in brochures. Everyone go to the Tropical Smoothie on Cumberland Avenue because that is an activity, y'all. No, I'm kidding. But so where the athletes stay, where Jack stays, is called Stokely Hall. And they have 4 rooms in Stokely and they have roommates. Do you like living with roommates? I know you grew up with 3 siblings, correct?
Yeah, I grew up with siblings in the house. So like the transition from dealing with my little sister to dealing with a dude who's the same age as me going through the same workouts, that's a little different. But I mean, at the end of the day, I got my room, he's got his, and all we got to do is share a bathroom. So it's not too hard.
Yeah, and it's pretty nice. I feel like a lot of the, I feel like I didn't take it for granted, but I don't think we understand how nice the athletic dorms are. Like they have a common area, a kitchenette, 2 bathrooms. Which do they still come and clean your bathrooms every week? Once a week? Yeah, they will clean their bathrooms once a week. And there's 4 guys in there. I can only imagine how dirty it is. But
we keep ours clean. We keep our bathroom clean.
Jack, let's run back to TikTok me and you had made in your dorm. Let's run that TikTok back and go in the back and look at the back.
Messy. It's a little messy. It's not dirty. It's just a little messy. It got cleaned up.
Okay. But your roommates, you like them, but you like your teammates. Who's the funniest teammate? Who is the funniest teammate on the Tennessee football team?
It's between Big O and Joe Milton. Big O is just funny because it's surprising. Like you look at him and you see him walking around, and it's just like, that's a big dude. Like you don't want to mess with him. And then you open your phone and he's on your For You page doing TikToks like little kids. So I think Big O's kind of funny, and then Joe is just like, I don't know. He's always smiling, and he makes other people like. If I walk in and see him smiling and laughing, it just makes me want to laugh. So he's also one of the funniest ones.
I can attest to that. Big O, I think if you would just see him, you'd be very intimidated. And the fact
he's a big guy.
No, he's big. He's like what, like 6'5", 6'4", but he's not just like they call him Big O for a reason. They call him Big O for a reason. But like he is very funny. Yeah. And if you could like, so if you're making a TikTok, say you're making a TikTok and you're like, okay, I want this to go viral. Who's your top 3 people on the team that you're going to put in the TikTok? That you think strategically, you think it's either A, it's going to be funny, or B, it's going to go viral because of them.
Okay, it depends what type of TikTok I'm doing. If I got to do like a dancing TikTok, I know exactly who, because everybody from Louisiana, everybody can dance. Like if you like D Samp, D Williams, Jordan Matthew, that's 3 I'll take right now. But then you also got like Dante Thornton, who I don't even know what, like his body just bends in different types of ways. But I think those guys are the dancers. And then you got Joe. He's obviously a good one to make your video go viral. Nico, everybody loves Nico Yamaleva, and all the new guys. There's a lot of people who love seeing the new guys on social media.
Yeah, and I feel like y'all have a class that like is able to accept social media, and you guys don't look at it as something that's cringy.
Yeah, we don't think.
I feel like y'all are like bought into the social media train. Like you guys are at the very start of NIL. You have a whole 4 or 5 years to take advantage of NIL. So I think a lot of y'all are so quick to just be like, why would I not? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
for sure. But what's your dream collab just in general? Like you said you made a video with Destroying. I just learned who this kid was. I think he's a kid. I don't know. I just learned who he is. He's a big name. But who's your dream collab? Do you have a dream collab? Because you've worked with some pretty big names, honestly. AJ Green, you worked with AJ.
I've worked with a couple big names, like in the football side, Thad Boy, AJ Green, Destroying, Zay Sean, a lot of guys. But I think the future with me being stuck in a college dorm or at practice, like I'm gonna get into this gaming stuff. I just bought a PS5. Mm-hmm. I got a monitor, so I'm gonna get into this gaming stuff. So maybe I could collab with, I don't know, dream collab, play Fortnite with Ninja. Realistic, I don't know. Realistic.
That's realistic. Why are you saying that's not realistic? Don't ever put a cap on what you think is possible. If it's in your mind, it's possible. Don't do that realistic.
It is. I'll be playing Fortnite with Ninja and LaMelo Ball.
There you go. It's gonna happen. We're gonna clip this video when it happens, and he's gonna look back and say, "I said it, and it manifested for me." So yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay. But last question for you would be, what are some words of advice for any football player coming into college or any TikToker just wanting to grow? Like if you could give yourself advice when you were, say, 2 years ago, what would you say?
Don't be afraid of being like that cringe guy because you're making videos. Because a lot of people will make fun of you and they'll hate on you, and that happens to me a lot. And the first thing I do is just click over and then go to Creator Fund, and it shows you exactly how much money you've made from those videos that people are making fun of you for. And so when people understand like how much you get paid for making goofy videos, and they'll stop making fun of you. So I don't know, advice for someone just starting, just don't be afraid to be goofy. It's funny. Yeah. People like it.
Yeah, and I think can you hear the freaking sirens? Yeah.
I think I just saw them.
Yeah. You can see the sirens right behind me. But I think a lot of the thing is with social media too is that a lot of it stems from not jealousy necessarily, but them wishing they had the confidence that you had. And you personally, you have a predominantly male following, which I think is like badass. Like I would trade having a predominant male following for a female following any day of the week. But you honestly have little like younger kids looking up to you and wanting to be like you. And, you know, like, does that have a pressure towards you, or do you just like continue to be yourself? Because online it's so different. It's not like you see them face to face. Like, that's not that, is it a pressure for you, or?
I know I try not to think of it as a pressure, just because if I have to change the way I act because little kids are looking up to me, I feel like the way I act is not in the right place. So if I can keep the way I act the same, whether I'm around my friends, my coaches, my dad, these little kids who follow me, then it's no pressure to just be myself.
Awesome. Jack, you just
That
gave
was a good response.
no, you just gave such a good little like, I'm so glad you came on because I liked like all your answers. Jack before the interview was like, "Can you please send me some questions? Like send me what you're gonna ask me." And I wasn't even thinking. I was just like stuck behind, or I was behind. But you killed every single one of those questions. So I'm very glad that you decided to join my Zoom today.
I got you. Sorry I missed last Wednesday.
Oh yeah, I wasn't gonna mention it, but since you did, everyone, Jack missed last Wednesday because he was supposed to come on, and he said he had to catch some balls on some machine and do some astrology homework or something.
Astronomy.
But we're gonna let it pass. We're gonna let it pass because I'm sure Jack will come on some other time, or he might come on to the Players Lounge, work with them. So, you know, we'll see. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in, and I'm so glad that Jack was able to come on, gave y'all some insight on what it's like to be a Tennessee Volunteer football player, and just a Tennessee Volunteer football player that has a social media presence. You know, I think a lot of people need that, and I'm very glad that Jack was able to come on. And special shout out to the Players Lounge again for having me on and having me do my off-track show. So we'll catch y'all next week, and I hope y'all have the best night ever. Bye.